All right, so today we are taking a deep dive into The Simpsons, which is kind of wild because they've been on for like forever, right? 35 seasons, and they just had what they called a series finale.
Yeah, 35 seasons is a lot. They really are like a TV institution at this point.
For sure. But did they actually end the show, or was it all a big joke? I mean, come on. The Simpsons ending seems impossible.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the big question. I think what they were really doing with this finale was kind of holding up a mirror to the whole idea of series finales, especially for sitcoms. You know, like after all these years, how do you really say goodbye?
Okay, that makes sense. So, walk me through this. The episode is called Bart's Birthday, which honestly seems pretty normal for The Simpsons, right? But then it takes this weird turn when they bring in Conan O'Brien to host this whole thing, like it's some kind of special event.
Yeah, and you know as soon as you see Conan, you know they're going to be messing with the audience a little.
Totally. So, how do you think that plays into the whole fake finale idea?
Well, Conan's like this link to the show's past, right? Like, he represents that golden age of The Simpsons that some fans are always talking about.
So, are they making fun of those fans, the ones who say the show isn't as good as it used to be?
Maybe a little. I mean, Conan even makes a joke in the episode about how the first episode back in 1989 isn't as funny as it used to be. It's like they're in on the joke.
Haha, that's great. They're totally aware of what people say about them.
Oh, yeah. But here's the thing. They didn't just stop at the whole nostalgia thing with Conan. They took it a step further. They used AI, actual artificial intelligence, to write parts of this finale.
Whoa, really? I did not know that.
Yeah. It's pretty hilarious when you think about it. Like, how meta can you get?
So how does that play into everything? The finale, the satire, the AI, it's a lot.
Okay, so think about it. They basically fed an AI all those classic sitcom tropes, you know, like sappy goodbyes, surprise inheritances, all that stuff.
Yep.
And of course, the AI spits out this totally over-the-top, cliche-ridden episode. It's like they're making fun of themselves, but also all those other shows that try to tug at our heartstrings with those played-out tropes.
Okay, so it's like The Simpsons version of a cheesy sitcom finale.
Exactly. And, you know, they went all out because they even threw in some celebrity cameos, both real and AI generated.
Wait, what? Who showed up?
They had Tom Hanks, which is awesome. And then to really hammer home the whole AI thing, they had an AI-generated John Cena pop up, too.
Stop, that's hilarious. They really committed to the bit.
Oh, they did. And amidst all this chaos, you've got Bart Simpson, still 10 years old after all these years, seeing right through the ridiculousness of it all.
Yeah, Bart just, like, refuses to play along with any of it. Like, at one point, he even moons the camera during Krusty's big farewell show.
Oh, man, classic Bart. He is such a little agent of chaos. But it's interesting, right? Because his refusal to grow up in this episode kind of makes a statement about The Simpsons as a whole, don't you think? Totally. It's like they're saying, we're not going to force these characters to change just because some people think that's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
They're rebelling against those classic sitcom tropes again.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're saying, we're the Simpsons and we do things our way. Remember how they played with the idea of Bart actually turning 11 in this episode?
Right? Can you imagine? The internet would have exploded.
Well, for sure. Headlines everywhere. Fans freaking out.
Meltdown. Total meltdown.
Yeah.
But, you know, the writers have actually talked about how this whole episode was their way of messing with both the diehard fans and the critics, the ones who say the show's past its prime.
Yeah, they know exactly what they're doing. They're totally in on the joke.
Oh, absolutely. It's like they're saying, we see you, we hear your think pieces, and we're going to do whatever we want. And speaking of doing whatever they want, they brought back one of the most controversial things from The Simpsons' past.
Yeah.
The whole Principal Skinner identity thing.
Oh, man. Armin Tamzarian. I can't believe they went there.
Right. Like, after all these years, are they seriously going to relitigate that?
Well, they kind of didn't. It was more like a quick joke for those who remember that whole thing.
Which, to be fair, is probably most Simpsons fans.
Totally. We remember everything, but it's almost like they're trolling us at this point. Like, remember this thing you thought we were done with? Surprise.
Exactly. They're totally in control, just toying with our expectations.
Right. And you know what else they brought back? Something way more controversial than the Principal Skinner thing.
No, tell me.
Homer strangling Bart.
Oh, wow. They really went there.
They did. I thought they'd retired that gag for good.
I mean, they said they were moving away from it. A while back, they even said they wouldn't do it anymore.
Right. It seemed like a done deal, so what gives?
Well, it's tricky. I mean, I get why people were uncomfortable with it, but...
But it's also kind of a classic Simpsons thing, right? Over the top, cartoony violence.
Exactly. The writers have said it's like a reset button. No matter what crazy stuff happens, Homer and Bart always go back to that dynamic.
It's like this weird dysfunctional symbol of their relationship.
Yeah. Like it or not, it's part of the show's DNA. And speaking of classic Simpsons, did you catch that ending?
With the song?
Yeah, they'll never stop the Simpsons. So fitting.
Right. They're basically saying, we're going to keep doing our thing whether you like it or not.
And we'll keep laughing. But while the show seems to go on forever, there is one part of the Simpsons world that is coming to an end. It's actually kind of sad.
Yeah, it really is kind of sad, actually.
It is.
I mean, the show itself, on TV, that seems like it'll never end, which is kind of the joke. But then you've got this whole other part of the Simpsons world, the digital world, that's actually coming to an end, and that's The Simpsons. Tapped out.
Yeah, they're shutting it down.
Which is crazy, right? Like, people have been playing that game for over a decade. They built their own little digital Springfields. I actually played it for a while. It was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, it was a huge deal when it came out.
And it made a ton of money too, right?
Hundreds of millions.
It's kind of wild to think about. This silly little mobile game based on this show that never seems to end made more money than some blockbuster movies.
Right. And it's not like they just abandoned it. They've been putting out updates this whole time.
Oh, I know. Remember when they added that whole monorail thing? So good.
Classic. They really did try to keep it fresh for the fans. They had storylines, new characters, the whole 9 yards. They even had celebrity cameos, just like the show.
It was like this weird meta extension of the Simpsons universe.
Totally. It really captured the humor. But even with all that, even with the dedicated fans, even with all the money they were making, they're shutting it down. It's the end of an era.
So are people freaking out?
I mean, there's definitely some sadness. A lot of people put a lot of time and energy into that game.
Yeah, I bet. It's like losing a part of the Simpsons world.
But, you know, it's also kind of fitting, don't you think?
What do you mean?
Well, we've been talking about how The Simpsons on TV, it's all about staying the same. Bart never ages, the town never really changes, it's this weird time capsule.
Okay, yeah, I see where you're going with this.
But Tapped Out, it was all about change. New characters, new buildings, new stories. It was like this constantly evolving alternate universe.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's over, but the original, the one that never changes, it lives on.
Yeah.
It's like a lesson or something, you know?
Wow, yeah. Deep thoughts.
Huh. See, The Simpsons makes you think. But you're right, maybe the lesson here is that nothing lasts forever. Except, of course, for The Simpsons.
We'll never stop The Simpsons. All right, that's all the time we have for our deep dive into The Simpsons. It's a show that just keeps on giving, even after all these years. If you want to learn even more about The Simpsons, be sure to check out the articles we used for this deep dive. Until next time.
Bart, it's okay. Change is healthy and inevitable. But whatever happens, nothing can take away the memories we had. Those will live in our hearts forever.
Maybe you're right. And I guess just because things change for everyone else, it doesn't mean I have to change.
Surprise! Happy birthday! Who's ready for cake?
11? This isn't supposed to happen. I'm 10. I'm turning 10. I've always been 10. I'm 10!
Come on, son. All these beloved characters from our past want to see you blow out your candles.
But if I blow these candles out, there'll be no going back. That'll be it.
Come on, kid. Do it for you, Unky Herb. And for me, Unky John Cena.
Just blow out the candles and have a happy birthday. Then everyone can be happy.
No! Happy people don't exist in Springfield! Sea Captain, they're not casting you for the Love Boat reboot. You're not TV pretty. And you three can't raise a baby. Not even after you move in with Hank Scorpio. And you guys are all dead.
Son, I can see you're experiencing some pretty big feelings right now. Let's try and center them. Now blow out your candles.
You blow 'em out, dumbass.
I know. It's a lot to process, suddenly having a great father.
Dude, you're not capable of change.
I hear you, and I validate your feelings.
You're not a great father. You are Homer Simpson. A drunk, neglectful sack of crap, and that's why everyone laughs at you.
Why, you little...
Bart, look what you did to your cake.
Floor cake.
10! I stopped it. I'm still 10.
When are you going to grow up? Never.